Hey guys, it's been a bit, but I thought I'd go ahead and give you a tour of what I've got growing on this year. Trying a lot new things, doing some things differently. My grow station setup has doubled in size. Firstly, because for Christmas I got a set of 3 grow lights, so I was able to buy myself another shelf and set up some grow lights, and they're doing pretty well. My tomatoes seem just a tad leggy, but that's okay to me because I'll just repot them here soon anyway, since I've got 2 going, and plant them a little deeper since tomatoes can grow roots all along there. I tried something a little different this year. I started all my seeds in bigger pots instead of doing something like this, just so that I'd have more time before I had to up pot them and stuff. And I tried to be very specific about what I was starting this year. And I have each one labeled, and I pretty much put 2 seeds in every hole. Some did 2 seeds, some I must have miscounted by accident, especially this one. And that's pretty much it. This looks like a random tomato. I didn't mean to plant, but it's growing. Under here I've got basil that I have been growing hydroponically, so I'm growing it that way for the rest of the season until I can plant it out. And these are some dahlia seeds that I've been sprouting to try and grow dahlias from seeds. Up here I started some basils. Hold on, cat's on my back. I started some basils. I only have dark basil. Hi baby, say hi. It's been a while, yes. And some anise basil growing, because this basil plant that I've been growing, I've been taking cuttings and rooting them and being able to pot them up. Peppers, I've got all my peppers going here. My poblano seeds, I don't think saved well, so I am going to have to buy some started poblano plants. Not a big deal though. And this is a Fresno. Those seeds just didn't take, so I actually put new seeds in there to try again. And again, I'm going to have to separate these here soon. Most of these are bell peppers. I've got a couple purple bells, some jalapenos, Fresnos. That's a black Hungarian back there, so on and so forth. I'm also starting some sweet potatoes, trying to grow some slips. I'm going to try to use those both for edible purposes this year and for decorative purposes. Instead of buying sweet potato vine, I'm just going to grow a bunch of slips and do them myself. Up here is another experiment I did this year. I grabbed this mixed pack of ranunculus corms and I pre-soaked them, and then I potted them up, and every single one of them has come up. They look really good, potentially a little leggy again because this light is further away, but I'm going to be potting these up here soon and giving them out as gifts, things like that. I also have some grocery store romaine I've been regrowing from cuttings. Sorry, the cat is desperate for my attention. Here's some dahlia seeds that I actually potted up this morning. They sprouted and I potted them up. I've got a bunch of dill back here. Oregano. I've got some amaranth I'm trying for the first time this year, both coral falls and emerald tassels. Here's some of those basils I've been propagating I was mentioning. And I've got some torch flowers back here. Up here I've got a bunch of snapdragons, apple blossom, cherry twist. I've got a lemon mint. I have parsley, sage. This is a stevia. This is more sage because I thought that one didn't live. And another thing of snapdragons, just kind of a mixture. I have been using this for flowers a whole lot and other things that I've been growing from seed, and I really, really like it. So my amaranth and torch flowers were in here and they got big enough to be ready to move up. So I moved them and then started another round of seeds. I've got cosmos going and bachelor's buttons I'm trying. I'm going to do most of my bachelor buttons and cosmos mostly direct seeded this year, but I wanted to try and grow them this way. These are some double champagne hollyhocks and some foxglove I've got going. Oops, sorry cat. So that is mostly what I've got going on here. I do have a bunch of dahlias that I'm going to try again this year. I'm splitting the mix up with somebody and we're going to try and both grow a bunch. And then I also have a bag of things here. I've got some black hollyhocks, some bulbs, some onion sets that I need to get out here probably in the next weekend. Excuse the mess. And I also have a bunch of potatoes yet that I have not planted out, but that's fine. All right, let's go outside. All right, so now we're outside of the vegetable garden. Another new thing I got this year are these things called super hoops. So I have them up. I was using them for when I needed frost cloth, and right now it's got a netting over it to protect from animals. And I've got Chinese cabbage, red acre cabbage. I've got some Brussels sprouts, some cauliflower, some broccoli, some Romanesca, some kale, some spinach. I've got beets in those seed packs I'm trying, and I also direct sowed some beets back there. I also have some sweet peas I grew from seed in both the corners here. I did also do peas hydroponically that I then transplanted. As you can see, they look really bad, but I didn't actually expect them to do well because peas don't really like to have their roots disturbed, but I wanted to try it just for fun anyway, so I did. I've got some garlic growing along the edges here that looked really good. My strawberry patch is starting to come in. My green stalks are down currently because there was high wind advisory, but I've got some things that were perennial that are coming back, like strawberries, Rebecca. This seeded itself from last year. I'm pretty sure they're bachelor buttons. I've got potatoes. I have two 15-gallon grow bags. This one has both russet and red potatoes. That one is all Kennebecs, and this one is purple. And then this green stalk is mostly my cold crops. So I've got lettuce going, got some kale. I actually did onions from seed this year for the first time, some arugula. That Swiss chard is planted way too early and looks horrid, so it probably isn't going to live much longer. This whole thing is radishes, and you can see the radishes are already coming up, which is pretty cool. And this whole thing will be carrots. None of them are germinated yet, of course. And this whole bed actually is another new purchase. I got it last year. Caleb helped me reinforce the bottom so it was stronger, and I've got netting over it and lined it with better landscape fabric. And I've got 4 rows of carrots in here. I'm trying the board method with 2 of the rows and without, just seeing if anything's better than the other. And the last kind of update I wanted to give is my winter sowing. So I did a lot more winter sowing this year. I actually just opened most of these containers today. So I've got a Chinese cabbage, some spinach, I've got some cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, that's a golden acre cabbage. These to me were all the failures, so I just opened them up. That was broccoli, and I've tried 3 different sweet peas. This artichoke over here isn't doing anything either, but it was kind of late last year too. And there was a couple, look at this. Look at all those poppies in there. And I've got some larkspur. And this has poppies in it too, and kale. Actually, I opened it. And there is 1 poppy in this one. There's also a bunch of poppies in there. I think I have little poppies going in there, also in there. There's a bunch. I saw 1 tiny milkweed. I'm not sure if I'll get it on camera. But yeah, so I would say out of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 winter sown jugs I did, that only 4 of them at this point did not work. That's pretty dang good. And none of these needed grow lights or anything like that. Now granted, you know, I don't have super amazing germination because in each one of these containers I did 5 different seeds, 1 in each quarter and 1 in the middle. And like this one only 1, this one only has 1, this one at least has 3. Actually it's 4, but I definitely don't need 4 more cauliflowers. I don't actually know what I'm going to do with it. And I have tons of poppies that I don't know what I'm going to do with either. But it is kind of a neat way to be able to start some seeds end of January, early February, and all I do is stick them outside and nature does the rest. My arugula actually overwintered, which I thought was super cool. I actually picked a bunch of it today and made a little salad. I have some kale planted back there too. The arugula also put off tap roots that I dug up in this area. They did not transplant, so I don't think arugula is one of those things I can transplant. I've got more lettuce here and some lettuces in here. Like these all self-seeded from last year. And I even have a red one here. And if we go up front, we'll see a nice little spring show. I'm hoping next fall to order a bunch of hyacinth bulbs to throw them in. Got a bunch of pansies I planted out. I've got this set here. And I have an anemone. It doesn't look too great, but there is another one popping up. This actually looks kind of bad. It's probably because it keeps getting warm and then cold, so we'll see if it's okay. Oh, I did buy a hellebore this year. I've always wanted one. So I finally bought one. Another pansy basket I did. Phlox. The pink looks kind of spotty, but I didn't clean up this section yet. Got a nice little pansy here, calendula. Then I actually planted sweet peas along the edges, so hopefully they'll grow up. And then I've been trying to work on my side garden. All of my irises I planted last year are coming up. My yarrow went all over the place, which I thought was really cool. My limelight looks okay, which is good. That's a ranunculus corum that I bought. Looks terrible. Another pot of pansies. My daylilies. I have no idea what that thing is. That sage overwintered. Looks amazing. I have a peony. I have random, I think, sunflowers popping up. Little rose bush lasted. This little thing, I think it was called like thrush or something, that lived. I'm waiting to see if the hollyhocks and the foxglove I planted last year come up, and the delphiniums. So far I don't see any action, but it might be too early. But some other natives I got are coming back. They look good. That is my hydrangea, hardy hydrangea. I don't know if it's coming back or not. The crepe myrtle's still alive, so that's good. Lavender looks pretty rough. I didn't cut these grasses back because I was kind of hoping maybe they'd come back. And my heuchera looks kind of bad. But yeah, and I did put some sweet peas here. Just wanted to see if I could get them to grow up. Other than that, I'm just working on getting things started, getting things out. The weather has not been super cooperating. It'll be nice for 2 days, and then 3 days it'll be bad. So I'm trying to slowly work on it without killing everything. And my cherry blossom is just starting to bloom. And that's it. Thanks for watching.